17 April 2023, and we continue with our coverage of the Zimbabwe 2023 elections, which are due to be held mid-August. And today we have a very interesting situation developing in the CCC between Hopo Chingono and the CCC. Specifically, Hopo Chingono has revealed that the CCC is failing to find raw candidates. So his tweet reads, Zimbabwe's main opposition party, CCC, is struggling to find candidates in some rural areas. For example, in Chimanimani, only one candidate was nominated in 22 wards. Only one MP candidate was nominated for the two Chimanimani constituencies. Over 24 Mashonaland West wards don't have candidates. So you remember we were talking about the lack of structures in the CCC, and also the American think tank has said in the past that the lack of grassroots structures is one of the biggest problems facing the CCC. And the formation of the CCC based on the citizen structure or lack of structure, where Chamisa says that the citizens are going to nominate their own people from within themselves, is becoming a problem. I also spoke about the infiltration that is happening, where people are just coming from everywhere to become candidates in the CCC. Now, Hopo Chingono is not someone who just talks things that he does not know. And I know the CCC guys are deeply hurt when they see Chingono talking about the situation as it develops. It's clear that the strategy that they adopted is not working, hence they are unable to present the list of candidates. And Chingono received a big backlash from the CCC leadership, especially the spokespersons, and also from the general membership, to the point that he has issued a tweet that he is no longer going to be talking about the CCC. So he said here, it has become difficult for me to report on anything to do with CCC without insults. I have therefore taken the decision to stop reporting on anything to do with CCC from today throughout the election campaign in order to have peace of mind. No more CCC material on my timeline. And here we can see Gift Ostalos saying, we cherish journalistic freedom and the right to share information. Unfortunately, this tweet on our candidate selection is simply not factual. We have 6 candidates in the said constituencies who are undergoing vetting. After validation, we shall publicize the successful candidates. And if you look at the response from a lot of other members of the CCC, it's clear that they're not happy at all with what Chingono reported. Fadzai Mahere here says, why not be respectful enough to allow the independent selection panel to complete its work instead of churning out malicious disinformation? To which Chingono replied, as opposition leaders who want to take power, we expect you to be truthful and not to lie like ZANU-PF. What I reported as a journalist is true. If it is a lie, say so and I'll produce evidence. What is regrettable is lying. And I think ZANU-PF is having a field day with the situation that is developing between Chingono and the CCC, because Chingono is someone that doesn't take prisoners. He just goes. And I like it. You know, like I criticize Chingono all the time, but I told you before that I just do this to pull his legs. I actually like the way that Chingono does his stuff. He is like a bulldog. Like when he goes at you, he goes. He doesn't take prisoners at all. So the CCC is learning the hard way not to cross the wrong people. You remember what happened when they crossed Jonathan Moyo? It wasn't nice. It doesn't end well. And the CCC relies on their diaspora support. When they lose people like Chingono, they lose a big chunk of the support. But that is not the big part. The big part is what are they going to do about this situation with the candidates? Because winning, for Chamisa to win, he needs to do well everywhere. He needs to do well in the rural areas. He needs to do well in the cities. If he cannot have enough candidates, it means he cannot do well in the rural areas, which means his chances of winning landslide becomes less and less. I think Chamisa himself is going to do well, as I said. But how do you form a government if you don't have a majority in parliament? You need to do very, very well. You need to follow what Hakainde Hichilema did in Zambia. And this is not happening. So they need to quickly address this. And as I said, the current team that Chamisa has got is not enough. They need to beef up that team. They need to beef up the structures. You cannot win an election without proper structures, even if they're underground structures. Even if you're doing Mugwazo, you need strong structures which are visible. And this thing of saying ZANU-PF will infiltrate us, it just won't work. There's no one who can be infiltrated the world over. Politics is not done that way. You can't do the politics of being afraid of being infiltrated. Imagine if EFF here didn't have structures in South Africa. Those guys are on the ground. The CCC, you can't be on the ground secretly all the time. People have to see you visibly. And this is what is happening. Your people are afraid in the rural areas to become candidates, because how are they going to be protected? These are some of the issues that arise. So very, very interesting situation developing. Chingono clashing with the CCC, and the CCC accusing Chingono of lying, and Chingono accusing the CCC of lying. We are going to see drama this year between these two former friends. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk again.